Hello and welcome to Revival UK. Today we're going to be replacing the dashboard on the Vauxhall Corsa that I'm currently in. Now whilst it is a fairly simple job, it is also quite a time consuming job, so whilst in real life this might be videoed over 2 or 3 days, this will be a single video, probably about 10-15 minutes long, where we will be obviously editing it down so you can see. I will also be splitting it down into how to remove each individual bits, where I will link separate videos that I will upload to show you how you remove things like the radio, the steering wheel, the airbag, the dash console. So we'll split the video down into parts so you can see obviously the time lapse of the whole process. But if there's a certain bit that interests you, then we can definitely show that in more detail, which is one thing I think a lot of other channels don't do. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And I must thank the few people that have already viewed the videos, and I really am overwhelmed by the fact that people are actually watching these videos rather. I just thought I'd add in, before I actually get started, the way I like to go about removing dashboards. Everyone has their own personal preference. I personally like to start in the middle and work outwards towards passenger side and then across to the driver's side, because if I do need to move the car, I can still move the car until the very last minute where I pull the dash out. Then when I put it back in, I do the exact opposite. I put the driver's side together first, then the passenger side, and then I go to the centre console and the radio, etc. that's in the centre console. So just want to let you know how I approach this, because obviously everybody does it slightly differently. In my circumstances, I've got potentially have to move the car at some points, just so that we can use the driveway for other things, really. So I'd just like to let you know how I do it. So that's what you'll see in this video. Thank you. Well, the dash is out and I've switched sides because I've got to do the airbag next. The airbag looks to be fairly straightforward. There's 3 bolts. Looking at the replacement, it's always useful if you don't know where the bolts are to look at your replacement parts. I've been doing that with the dash all yesterday and today. There's 2 nuts, one there and one there. and a bolt that goes through there. So you just look for the place up there. Now it's not going to be very visible, so I'll show you how it mounts on there, but it's going to be fairly straightforward. It's 3 bolts and a electrical connector. Okay. Well, after what I said in the last shot about looking at what the old parts are, as you can see on here, whoever took this part off the breaker car undid these 2 bolts and bracket to try and get this off, when in fact you've got these 2 pieces here that just push up into there and there, and then 1 bolt that holds up. As I don't have that bracket, I'll have to take it off the old unit. It's just 2 13mm nuts, and be very careful. So I'll get that done now. I have checked the part numbers and they do match, so I know they are the same airbag. Drop down there, pick up the new one. Put it the same way I had that one. And put that through there. Push that down there. I always just use the electric ratchet just to snug it up, and we'll make sure that all these go onto there as they should do. I'm sure if you can see there's some plastic lugs that come through. I want it packed exactly as it was when it left the factory, for obvious safety reasons. And then it's just it's a T30. It goes up underneath there. Oh. The other thing is the breaker didn't even take the connector out, which I'll show you now again. You pull the orange piece out. I usually use a screwdriver. It's actually easier than the one that's on the car. Probably fiddly because the thing's moving, but that just pulls out like that. Not fully out, just enough to release its locking pins, and it pings off. Then you put it up like that. It goes in there, and I'll get the bolt in under there separately. It's just 1 torque screw. You simply push this in and click it in to place, and that airbag's been changed. Well, that's the dash replacement complete. It's all gone fairly straightforward as expected, apart from the battery dying at the last part of putting the time-lapse together. But it looks all fine. I mean, the center console's not fully in yet, but I've got to change the airbag module under there as soon as that arrives. It took a total of about 4 hours, 4.25 hours-ish, to get it all done. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think we're going to have to get this cleaned off from the scrapyard. But other than that, thanks for watching, and please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one, which should be some of the body panels. Thanks, bye.